Welcome back to our channel, Valuable Coins Hub. These rare Lincoln penny coins make people rich. Let's find out why. Don't miss out one of these who know a single coin could make you rich. Number 1. Today, you're not going to believe the story behind this tiny yet incredibly powerful piece of American history. Yes, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 2009, the Lincoln Professional Life Penny. If you're a coin collector or even slightly curious about valuable coins, then you absolutely need to watch this video till the end because I'm about to reveal details that could turn a regular-looking penny into something worth far more than a cent. You'll learn why this coin is unique, what errors make it rare, and why collectors across the globe are searching for it like treasure hunters. So buckle in and don't skip a second. Now let's dive into what makes the 2009 Lincoln Professional Life Penny so special. This coin was minted as part of a historic four-design series celebrating the 200th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent itself. The Professional Life version is the third design in this series, showing Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois State Capitol, a tribute to his years as a lawyer and legislator in Springfield. But here's where things start to get really interesting for collectors and coin lovers. Most of these pennies were made for everyday use, and yes, millions were minted, but not all are created equal. Some versions of this coin were struck with incredible detail and sharpness, especially the ones made at the San Francisco Mint as proof coins. And then come the valuable errors. Oh yes, you heard it right. Certain error coins have surfaced with extra fingers, doubled dies, or even off-center strikes that make them stand out from the rest. These minting mistakes aren't just flaws. They are golden tickets for collectors who know their worth. If you're a coin collector or someone who's just starting out, here's a golden tip. Always look closely at the details. Check Lincoln's hands, the building lines, and the date for any signs of doubling or misalignment. Some of these tiny errors could mean your 1-cent coin is worth far more than face value. And trust me, there are still coins out there in circulation or hidden in old piggy banks just waiting to be discovered. This coin isn't just valuable because of a mistake. It's a symbol of a key moment in U.S. history and a tribute to one of America's most respected leaders. That's why collectors hold onto it tightly and why demand has only grown in recent years. The more time goes by, the more rare and special these coins become, especially in high grades and pristine condition. If you happen to find one that's been professionally graded and has those unique error markings, you might just be holding onto a little fortune in the palm of your hand. So, if you're ever going through your pocket change or old coin jar, don't pass over any 2009 pennies without checking closely. Especially the one with Lincoln standing tall before the Capitol, the Professional Life design, because that could be your hidden gem. Collectors know this coin holds value not just for what it is, but for what it represents and how rare some of its versions have become. In today's market, if you have one in perfect mint state with rare error details, it could fetch hundreds of dollars easily. And yes, in some cases, we're talking about a few $100s for a single 1-cent coin that most people ignore every day. So keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion for collecting alive because treasures like this aren't found every day. This 2009 Professional Life Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a piece of history that could bring real value to your collection and maybe even your wallet. Number 2. Are you holding onto a 1964 Lincoln penny without knowing the true story behind it? Well then get ready because what I'm about to share might just change the way you look at this tiny copper coin forever. Don't blink or skip a second of this video because the 1964 1-cent piece has secrets and surprises hiding beneath its humble surface that every true coin lover and collector must know. This isn't just any ordinary penny. The year 1964 holds a special place in U.S. history, and the Lincoln penny minted that year carries a legacy that collectors and coin finders absolutely treasure. It was the last year the penny was made using 95% copper and 5% zinc, before the government began reducing the use of copper in later years due to rising metal prices. That alone gives the 1964 penny a distinct place in coin collecting history and makes it more valuable to those who understand the significance. But what makes this penny more than just a historical piece is the fascinating world of errors and rare variations that came out of the mints in that very year. You see, the Philadelphia and Denver mints were both producing enormous quantities of pennies in 1964, and when that happens, errors sneak in, and for collectors that's a gold mine of opportunities. From double die obverse to off-center strikes and repunched mint marks, there are variations that could take a penny from being a simple pocket change item to a rare collectible worth hundreds or even thousands depending on condition and uniqueness. Now here's something that only passionate collectors know. Some 1964 pennies exhibit a strong double die effect on Lincoln's profile, especially around the word liberty or in the date itself, and these are highly sought after in the numismatic community. These double die errors are rare because not all of them were caught before the coins entered circulation, and today they're being hunted by coin roll searchers and estate sale diggers across the country. You'd also want to look closely at the mint marks, especially on 1964 D coins. Some pennies from the Denver Mint show signs of repunched mint marks where the D looks doubled or misaligned, and these types of errors make your coin stand out in a sea of billions. The tiniest detail can make the biggest difference, and that's what makes coin hunting so thrilling. And don't forget the off-center strikes. Imagine finding a 1964 penny where Lincoln's face is slightly shifted and parts of the coin are missing or blank. That type of minting error not only catches the eye instantly but also increases demand among collectors who are always looking to add rare and unusual pieces to their collections. Let me give you a tip from experienced collectors. Always check the color and surface of your 1964 penny. Some coins have retained their original red luster and shine even after decades, and these are considered red designations and fetch much higher interest in auctions than their brown or red-brown counterparts. A red 1964 penny in mint condition is far more desirable and worth the effort to find. And here's another insider secret. The value of a 1964 penny dramatically increases if it's in uncirculated or proof condition, especially if it comes from a mint set or has been preserved carefully over time. These untouched examples are what collectors dream of discovering, and it's the reason people search through old jars, boxes, and inherited collections hoping to strike copper gold. Even small scratches or slight wear can affect value, so condition is everything when it comes to these coins. That's why handling with gloves and storing in acid-free holders is strongly recommended by serious collectors. The way you protect your coins today can preserve their value for the future, and that's something every collector should take to heart. Now, if you're out searching through coins or buying from estate sales or garage finds, keep an eye out for rolls and bags of old pennies, because 1964 was such a high mintage year that many are still hidden away in storage and forgotten boxes. You never know when you'll stumble across a brilliant uncirculated coin or a rare error hiding in plain sight. Collectors also love the story behind the coin, and the Lincoln penny tells one of the most iconic American stories ever. A president who led through Civil War and changed history honored forever on a coin that millions of people used every day and still do. The emotional value of the Lincoln cent adds depth to its collectible worth, and that makes the 1964 version even more powerful because it bridges the gap between the early copper era and the modern coinage period. And let's not forget how much joy and excitement this little coin brings to people of all ages. From kids starting their first collection to seasoned collectors building a legacy, the 1964 penny plays an important role in the journey of discovering American coinage. Its accessibility makes it a perfect entry point, but its rarities and errors make it a coin even professionals still chase after. If you're just getting started in coin collecting, the 1964 Lincoln penny is a perfect choice to begin with. It's widely available, but has enough unique traits and valuable variations to keep you engaged and excited. Start by learning to spot the mint marks and study what a double die looks like. Build your eye for detail and you'll find yourself uncovering treasures where others see only copper change. You should also attend coin shows and connect with local collectors because this hobby is filled with passionate people who love to share stories and discoveries. The more you learn, the more rewarding it becomes, and who knows, maybe your next find will be a rare 1964 error that turns out to be the highlight of your collection. And always remember, value is more than just money. It's the history, the design, the personal connection, and the stories we attach to each coin. That's what makes this hobby magical, and it's why the 1964 Lincoln penny continues to inspire so many collectors across the world. This little 1-cent coin minted in a year of transition might just be the key to your next big discovery. So never underestimate what you have in your hands, because it might be one of the few rare pieces that slipped past the mint with a unique flaw or a stunning shine. Now, are you ready to go digging through your coin jars and collections? Are you ready to see the Lincoln penny not just as a cent but as a symbol of history and potential? Then keep watching, because we're just getting started on this journey into America's most iconic coins. And finally, let's talk about its original market value. When this coin was released in 1964, its original face value was just 1 cent. That's right, just a single cent back then. Number 3. Are you holding onto a little copper coin from the past without realizing it might be worth way more than its original value? If you've got a 1966 Lincoln penny in your hands or in an old jar somewhere, you might want to pause and pay very close attention because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you look at this 1-cent coin forever. There's something powerful in this tiny piece of American history that keeps collectors searching and searching tirelessly. It's not just about the year 1966 or Abraham Lincoln's profile sitting on the front. It's what happened in that specific year and the things that didn't happen that truly add to the thrill of this coin. So, coin lovers and treasure hunters, if you're ready to discover how this penny can go from common to collectible, then stay with me to the very last second of this video because you won't want to miss a single detail. The United States was going through some massive changes during the mid-60s, and 1966 was no exception. It was a year full of transition, especially in the world of coins. By this time, silver had already been removed from the dimes and quarters, and the U.S. Mint was trying to calm down the hoarding craze that hit when silver prices jumped. To prevent collectors from scooping up all the coins as soon as they were released, the Mint decided something shocking. They didn't put a mint mark on the coins that year, including the Lincoln pennies. Now just think about that. Whether your 1966 Lincoln penny came from Philadelphia or Denver, you'll never know because there's no mint mark. That makes the coin feel mysterious and also frustrating for some collectors, but highly intriguing for others who absolutely love a good challenge. That one missing mark makes this penny one of the most talked about coins of its time. The coin was made with 95% copper and 5% zinc, which gives it that classic reddish-brown glow that we all associate with old-school pennies. But here's where it gets really exciting. The number of coins made was massive, over 2.5 billion in total. So with that many out there, why would any collector care about it? Because not all 1966 pennies are created equal. Some coins were struck with serious errors that make them incredibly valuable today. You may come across one that has a double die, meaning parts of the design like the date or the word liberty, or even in God we trust, appear to have been stamped twice, slightly off from each other. That slight doubling can bring in serious attention from collectors because it's not something you find every day. Then there are the off-center strikes. Imagine a penny where Lincoln's head is leaning so far to the side it's like he's falling off the coin. That's the kind of error that collectors will absolutely go nuts for, especially if the coin still shows the full date clearly. Some coins even show clipped planchets, where a chunk of the penny is actually missing because the blank it was struck on wasn't fully cut. These little flaws aren't mistakes to collectors. They're golden opportunities. And the best part? These errors were not intentional. They happened during high-speed production at the Mint when precision sometimes slipped through the cracks. So if you find one of these flawed beauties, you're holding a mistake that turned into a treasure. Let me give you a few tips if you're hoping to spot one of these special 1966 pennies in the wild or maybe in your old coin jar at home. Start by grabbing a magnifying glass. Seriously, it's a collector's best friend. Look very closely at the lettering and the numbers, especially the date. Is there any doubling? Even just a slight shadow or ghost image around the letters could mean you're looking at a double die error. Check the coin's edges too. Do they look uneven or clipped? Sometimes part of the coin may appear slightly missing or oddly shaped, and that's a strong sign you've found something rare. Also check if the design appears off-center or poorly aligned. Those are the kinds of errors collectors chase after like hidden treasure. And if your coin has an unusual shine or strange coloring, it could have been struck on the wrong metal planchet or may have undergone some chemical reaction that now makes it stand out from the crowd. Anything that makes your penny different is a reason to take a closer look. So what makes this coin so fun for collectors? It's the thrill of not knowing what you'll find. There are so many subtle errors and quirks that can turn a regular pocket change penny into something worthy of a collector's case. And that's the reason why more and more collectors keep their eyes peeled for the 1966 penny. Because one little detail could change everything. Even with its high mintage, the uniqueness comes down to condition and errors. A 1966 penny in absolutely perfect condition, what collectors call mint state, can be a beauty to behold. If it still holds its full red copper color and shows no signs of wear, it instantly becomes more desirable. Combine that with a rare error and you've got a coin that can spark serious bidding wars at auctions and online. And let's not forget the story it tells. This coin traveled decades through hands, pockets, drawers, and maybe even across states, holding the weight of everyday lives in its tiny copper body. It survived the test of time, and now it might just be the coin that completes a collector's dream set. The original face value of this coin was just 1 cent, but when it comes to rarity, mystery, and error collecting, the 1966 Lincoln penny is so much more than just a simple coin. It's a slice of American history, a puzzle piece in a bigger story, and for some collectors, it might be the key to an unexpected discovery. So next time you go through your spare change, don't just glance at those old pennies. Really look at them. You never know when a simple cent might reveal its hidden value and surprise you with its secret worth. Number 4. Are you holding onto a 1967 Lincoln penny without realizing that it might be hiding something truly incredible? What if I told you this tiny copper coin could actually be worth more than you ever imagined? If you've got a 1967 1-cent coin lying around, this is your moment to really listen close because I'm about to take you deep into a story filled with mystery, errors, and rare details that only the sharpest collectors will catch. This isn't just any penny from the past. The 1967 Lincoln cent is one of those coins that hides secrets in plain sight. So don't miss even a second of this because the information I'm going to share could make the difference between a regular penny and a potential hidden treasure. Back in 1967, something very unusual was happening at the United States Mint. People were hoarding coins like crazy, especially the ones with silver content. To stop people from saving every coin they could get their hands on, the Mint made a big decision. They stopped putting mint marks on coins. That means the 1967 Lincoln penny, no matter where it was made, doesn't show which mint it came from. That one missing detail makes it feel mysterious, and it adds to the excitement of searching for valuable versions. Even though more than 3 billion of these pennies were produced, there's still magic in finding one with the right kind of mistake or rare quality that makes it stand out. Because let's be honest, not every 1967 penny is created equal. Collectors are on the hunt for special errors that slipped through the mint's machines and landed in people's pockets without anyone noticing. One of the most fascinating things about the 1967 penny is the variety of errors that can turn this copper coin into something absolutely extraordinary. Some coins were struck with double dies. That means the image or the letters were pressed more than once and slightly misaligned. If you look closely at the date or the word Liberty and see what looks like shadows or ghost-like doubling of the letters, you might have found a true gem. Another error to keep an eye out for is the off-center strike. Imagine Abraham Lincoln's head not fully appearing on the coin because the metal blank wasn't lined up properly when it was struck. These kinds of off-center coins are extremely exciting to find, especially when the full date is still visible. And there's more. Sometimes you'll come across a penny that was struck on a thinner planchet, which makes it feel too light in your hand or look slightly off in color. There are even coins where a part of the edge is clipped like a bite was taken out of it. And believe it or not, that's not damage. It's a minting error that collectors absolutely love to find. These aren't just small mistakes. They're rare features that turn a common coin into a collector's dream. So what should you do if you have a handful of old pennies and want to know if any of them are special? Let me share some powerful tips that serious collectors always follow. First, grab a magnifying glass. You need to look very carefully at every letter and number, especially the date 1967 and the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If anything looks slightly doubled, even just a shadow, don't ignore it. That could be a doubled die. Then examine the rim and the edges of the coin. Is everything perfectly round or is part of it missing or oddly shaped? That could be a clipped planchet or another rare striking error. Also pay attention to the color. Most 1967 pennies have that classic reddish copper glow, but if your coin looks unusual, maybe too dark, too shiny, or even off in tone, it might have been struck on a different kind of planchet or gone through a strange chemical reaction during minting. Collectors also love to find coins in what's called mint state. That means the coin hasn't been worn down or damaged and still looks almost brand new. A coin that has been well preserved for decades is always going to stand out in the collector's world. But here's what makes the 1967 penny really fascinating. It's not just about age or condition or even errors alone. It's about the thrill of discovery. Every time you find a 1967 penny, it's like opening a small door into the past and asking, is this the one? Is this the rare version that could make my collection shine? And if you're a new collector just getting started, don't overlook pennies like this one just because there are so many out there. Remember, the mass production means the chances of mint errors go up too. That's why collectors love searching through these, because the odds of finding something unusual are real if you pay attention and stay patient. Now imagine this. A simple 1-cent coin, tossed into a jar or hiding in your drawer for years, turns out to have a rare error that could be worth more than any coin you've ever held. That's the kind of discovery that fuels the passion of coin collecting. The original face value of this coin is just 1 cent, but the stories it carries, the rarity it might hide, and the errors that make it special. Those are the things that give the 1967 Lincoln penny its true value in the eyes of collectors. Number 5, and last rare coin. Do you have an old 1971 Lincoln penny sitting in a coin jar, or maybe tucked away in a drawer, without even realizing what secrets it might hold? What if that ordinary-looking 1-cent coin in your hand could actually be something so rare and valuable that collectors all over the country are chasing after it right now? If you're a coin lover or even just curious about what makes certain pennies worth way more than their face value, then keep your eyes locked and ears wide open, because today we're diving deep into the mysteries and hidden treasures of the 1971 Lincoln penny. This isn't just another old coin from the past. This is one of those coins where if you know what to look for, you could be the next lucky person to discover something truly extraordinary. So don't miss even a second of what I'm about to share, because every detail matters, and it just might change the way you look at this little copper piece forever. In 1971, the world was changing fast, and the United States Mint was busy producing billions of coins to keep up with the growing demand across the country. That year, over 1.5 billion pennies were struck in Philadelphia alone, plus hundreds of millions more in Denver and San Francisco. At first glance, it might seem like these coins are too common to be worth anything special, but that's exactly where the excitement begins. Because even among billions of coins, something went wrong with just a few of them, and those rare errors and unique strikes are exactly what collectors dream about finding. And the 1971 penny is full of these hidden treasures if you know what to look for. Now here's where things get really thrilling. One of the most well-known and most sought-after errors for this coin is the double die obverse. Imagine the front of the coin, Lincoln's portrait, the date, the words "I in God we trust" and "Liberty." Now picture those details being struck twice, just slightly off from one another. That's a double die, and it creates this amazing shadow-like effect that's completely visible to the naked eye if you look closely enough. Some of these double die versions are so dramatic that collectors will pay big money just to own one. And what's incredible is that most people never even realize they have one because they don't look closely at their old change. And that's not the only error that makes the 1971 penny exciting. There are off-center strikes where the coin was misaligned during minting, so part of the design is missing or pushed to the side. There are clipped planchets where it looks like a chunk of the coin is missing from the edge. And there are even pennies struck on the wrong type of metal or with weak or missing details from the die being worn out. These are not just flaws. These are opportunities. They're the little imperfections that turn an everyday coin into something collectors will treasure and pay for. And what's really exciting is that these errors don't always look super obvious right away. Sometimes it takes patience and a sharp eye to spot them, and that's what makes the hunt so much fun. So how do you actually find these rare and valuable 1971 pennies? Let me share some tips straight from serious collectors who've been in the game for years. First, always look at the coin in good lighting and use a magnifying glass if you can. Pay close attention to the words "I in God we trust" and "Liberty," and especially the numbers in the date 1971. If anything looks double stretched or has a shadow behind it, that's a sign of a double die, and it's worth taking a second and third look. Next, check the edges and the overall shape of the coin. If the coin is not perfectly round or has a strange notch or curve missing from the side, you might be looking at a clipped planchet or an off-center strike. These are incredibly collectible when they're clear and dramatic. Also take note of the color and surface. Most 1971 pennies will have that familiar reddish-brown copper tone, but if your coin is unusually shiny, darker, or a strange mix, it could be a clue that something is different about the metal or the way it was struck. And finally, don't just look once and give up. The most dedicated collectors check thousands of pennies and keep searching because they know that the real treasures are found by those who don't stop looking. Even if you don't find a rare error right away, holding onto and learning from these coins builds your eye for detail and deepens your love for collecting. And that's what makes this hobby so rewarding and powerful. Now let's bring it all together. The 1971 Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin from the past, but in truth it's a gateway to discovering incredible errors, hidden beauty, and fascinating stories from the mint. It's a coin that reminds us to always take a closer look because even the smallest things can carry the biggest surprises. If you find one of those rare double die errors or dramatic off-center strikes, you could be holding something that collectors would love to add to their collection. So the next time you're counting change or cleaning out an old drawer, take a moment to examine your pennies carefully. The treasure might already be right there in your hand, and all it takes is a little curiosity and a careful eye to unlock it. The original face value of the 1971 Lincoln penny is just 1 cent. But its true value lies in the mystery it holds, the thrill it offers, and the passion it ignites in collectors everywhere. Keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate what you might find in your pocket today. If you're enjoying this journey into rare coins and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button. It helps us bring you even more valuable coin stories and tips you won't want to miss. Your support means the world to us.